All right, so first things first, when I ask that question, I've seen a demonstration where somebody was displaying a gray screen in a very poorly lit environment. And in that poorly lit environment, they were trying to display contrast levels to show that their gray screen paint was just as equal as a black screen when producing contrast levels, or even a gunmetal when producing contrast. So the question is, can a gray screen see contrast? As some of them would like to portray that they can see contrast levels, they can produce solid black images, and even though that's not true, maybe some shades of gray, but not exactly a black image. All right, first things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Gauge Technology Screens. And in this demonstration, we're going to be displaying black levels. Now, that's one of the strong points of a black nova. Black novas have the ability to be able to pull very, very, very heavy contrast levels. Even gunmetals, very dark screens, can pull heavy contrast levels, but that's a dark gray screen, as you can see. We're talking about one of the screens that pulls the most heaviest contrast levels that we have. So, this thing right here has the ability to pull nice white levels, colors, and also, like I said, heavy contrast levels. So, screen paint, usually for most companies or hobbyists that I'm checking out on YouTube, they will basically not go doing too many contrast levels because they don't want to come off misleading. Now, there's one individual that does do a lot of contrast levels in the dark, claiming that his product can produce a contrast level in a fully lit environment. From the environment from which I've seen, it's always dark. So let's see if they're able to pull the contrast level. As you can see, we have the star code going on right now, and as you can see, the screen is not doing so well on pulling up the contrast level because it can't see it at all. Now, as I said before, that pretty soon we have another product we're going to be ordering. It will be here very soon. And in those demonstrations, we saw we're basically misleading the customers, trying to tell them that the product can pull a contrast level when clearly it just cannot. As you can see, the difference of the lighting I have in my environment, nice and bright. We even shut the door to be nice. I can open up the door and add more light to the screen, but just to be nice, to show you that we're not, because having the door open will be charged. People will be saying, well, you're just overdoing it. This is the everyday light in my home. Light next to the window, light over here, light over here, light over here. My house is very, very bright, plenty of light pushing through. My projector sits back 13 feet from the screen, which is all measured out. My projector is a Viewsonic projector at 800 by 600 res 720p SVGA, and it has a 22,000 to 1 contrast. So you have a 22,000 to 1 contrast projector. Will you be able to see the contrast levels? No, you can't. Gray screens can't pick it up at all, period. They can't pick it up. Now, the 48, someone said, well, Ken, you have the throwback. Throwback's a gray screen. Yeah, it's a gray screen. But on that screen, we were able to pull a contrast level even heavier than his product. So it does have some contrast capability. Would it ever be to keep the complete with a black nova? No, there's no screen that we make that can compete with a contrast level of a black nova. None. Because that screen can produce a 100% contrast level. Whether it be in a fully lit environment, whether it be window light connecting with the screen, whether it be outside, it can pull the 100% contrast level. And this is why I tell you why I don't like it when people do demonstrations of contrast levels in the dark. You mislead your customers. I was talking to a customer the other day, we were talking about that. You mislead your customers because say his environment's not as brighter than yours. And you're deliberately doing that in a dark environment. So what happens when that customer buys the product, takes it home, paints his motorized projection screen with it, or fixed frame screen, turns his lights on, and he gets that. Because this is what I'll be getting. If I painted my screen with that screen paint, that's what I'm going to pick up. And I may be just going on the fact that my projector has a 22,000 to 1 contrast. Well, you know, I'm going to be able to pick up the contrast level because my projector has that capability. You're not going to see it. Not going to come up. The only thing they can achieve is a white level. Let's go to an easy one. Cancel. LG jazz demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh, that did not want to stay, did it? But it's going to have to. We need to do the demonstration. Oh, we got a new one down there at the corner. We got to check out too. So this is usually one that they like to do because they do this particular one in the dark. But let's see how it comes up in our environment with lots of light. So I just spent $107 to have a screen wash out on a 22,000:1 contrast projector. Now, if the Cinemax is lighter than this screen, it's going to do far worse. We'll find that out pretty soon. We're going to be placing an order very soon. I told you we're going to be placing an order for a few of them that will be coming through. Because you mislead your customers, you lie to them. You tell them that your products can produce contrast levels, it's black as black screens, you lie. They can produce white levels as high as a white screen, that's definitely a lie. Or they can produce a level on a white screen that high as a white screen. We don't even have anything that can produce a level. Even if we did a gray screen paint, it ain't going to compare it to a white screen. It's going to have to be white to do it. So that's a lie you do. And then constantly doing these demonstrations in these poorly lit environments, trying to pull off these grayscale contrast levels and trying to say, hey, look, this is equal to black technology. No. Not even close. Now, I'm being nice and shutting the door. I can open up the door and let more light in. My screen can handle it with no problem. It's sitting there with sunlight in and it's good. Your screen's not going to do too well. This is why I'm telling you that, you know, when I see some people, and I got other people out there that do sell gray screen paints, but they don't put it out there like their products can do something that it can't. LG Beta Fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
I see a lot of them saying contrast levels are fair, contrast levels are good, but they're never going to say, oh, contrast levels are just as equal to a black screen. I don't even know what universe you even got that from. And then keep in mind, the Black Nova is supposed to be so dark you can't see it. And yet, I'm able to pull up bright red colors next to a product that can't even see it. Let's go pop over to Keystone real quick. This is why you don't want your product coming here. We don't play games over here. You look at my environments. You see how much light that pours through my environments? We don't play the games over here. These screens have to work for their labels. This is why your screen's not surviving so well. It's not used to being in this kind of light. It's used to being in the dark. I'm not going to baby your screen. Like I said, I've had instructions by him, emailed me, asking me to keep the screens, be fair, and keep the screens in an ambient light controlled environment. You just compared your technology to a screen that is designed to thrive in this kind of environment. That's designed to absorb ambient light. That's what you just challenged. So we're not going to baby or hand walk your screen into an area where, oh, it's control. Even if I put you into a dark environment, I still beat your screen. You can't see contrast, you can't see color, even in the dark. If you need proof on that, wait till the sun goes down, wait till we get the room nice and dark, and you can watch your screen fade in a dark environment while my screen produces high reds, blues, and greens. I'll gladly do that. That's not a problem. But it just shows you that in order for you to basically be able to use your screen, you have to be in a pitch black environment. I don't. I have options. If I don't want to be in the dark, I don't have to be in the dark. You do. See how your red's washed out? Some of the naysayers start getting a little upset. They'll leave the room a bit because they'll get upset because they don't like what they're saying. Hey, you bought it, so you know exactly what you have. You know what you have already. But as I said before yesterday, if you want and you have the product, give me a Starfield demonstration in a fully lit environment. As a matter of fact, put a black piece of paper in the middle of your screen, because yesterday we did the demonstration on the Black Nova on the fabric surface, and I had white sheets of paper on the screen. So you could do the same thing. Just go out and get yourself a couple of black sheets of paper, put on the Starfield demonstration, and match it. Blend that screen. Now, the company that will be taking over this technology, they will be pushing ahead on basically obsoleting gray technology. It's old, man. It's old. It's an old product. It is. That's why the product we have is called a throwback. Only gray screen we have is called a throwback. Let's see if we can go back and get some of these heavier contrast levels. We got the Cosmos. That's why we discontinued the black silver, the ultralight grays. It's old technology. Even though the technology was better than what was most gray screens on the market, it's old. The throwbacks, they're old. It's an 8-year technology. Look at that. We go back on that. Coming faded. Whenever that color pops up, it's faded. Doesn't even pick up. Very good. Let's see what else we got in here. We're doing some contrast levels with a 22,000 to 1 contrast projector. Did the Cosmos, already done. Did Campfire, already done. And just about did all of these. Oh. I don't know how you consider that to be a good screen. The contrast levels aren't picking up anywhere. It's still staying the same color. I'm curious. The color red.
Getting that from YouTube.
Nothing, you're not going to pick up. I can see that from the door. Whatever color we choose, you're not going to pick up.
Ew, no braces. I wasn't so lucky. And this is not your parents' braces. Invisalign.
Let's try something else. But this is all contrast, your screen wouldn't be able to withstand. So let's try to make this a little fair for you. So you can understand, so you can bring up some kind of color. So the contrast level pops up, you go white. That's not good. That's bad. Whatever we choose is not going to work for you anyway. I'm just trying to find something. Let's go with the 4K tropical fish.
Getting that from YouTube. Simply
Maybe you could bring up a proper blue. Your blue level is washed out. So if you're going to show up a contrast demonstration, this is not contrast. The first thing you should have started with was Starfield Screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Because that's the hardest one to pull off. Out of any contrast demonstration I've ever done, it's the hardest one. Starfield Screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
This is one we've been requesting over and over and over again. You don't do it. You stay as far away from it as possible. How do you do that when your projector has, what, a 2 million to 1 contrast ratio? Mine is only 22. If you're going to compare yourself to be equal to a black nova in every way whatsoever, you could easily come to your demonstration and say, okay, look, black nova is a good screen, but I do produce a higher white level. Hey, I'll give you that because that's true. You do produce a higher white level. Any one of the gray screen paints we have down there is going to produce a higher white level. Are they going to turn the black nova so dark you can't see it? Nah, that'd be virtually impossible. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't be seeing in my gaming demonstrations I do on black screens. You wouldn't be seeing anything at all. It would match exactly like your video, and it doesn't. You couldn't even come in and give a yes or no if your product would turn the black nova dark. You avoided that question altogether. How do you do a review about something? I was talking to a bunch of people about that the other day. It was like, how does he do a review about something that you claimed is this way? But yet when the person who developed the product asks you, how do you think that your Metallica mix and your personal mix is going to turn this screen unseeable, your screen's going to produce better contrast than the black nova and color? And you don't even reply back with a yes or no. You ignore it at all costs. So what happened in the review? Unless you faked it, because you have no confidence in your product. Same thing like the gamer paint. I asked you a simple yes or no. Do you think your product can take on the gamer screen? You reply back with a yes, no, maybe. That doesn't sound like a person that has a lot of confidence in its product. Either yes or no. I asked you again about Project 77. Yes or no? Do you think your screen can take the screen on being at 1% done? No reply back at all, period. That's not good. Not good at all. You don't have any confidence in your product because your product doesn't work. Like, I can sit here with my door open, window light coming in, overhead light, and I can produce a contrast level, which is what my screen is designed to do. The problem we have here is that the fact that you tell people that your screen can produce a contrast level is equal to a black screen or a gunmetal, and you can't do that at all, period. That'd be like me going out and telling people that, hey, guess what? The black nova's white levels are equal to a white screen. You would never hear me say that. They're equal to a light gray screen. You'll never hear me say that because they're not. I'm honest to my customers. I show them exactly what they're getting in a fully lit environment. I don't have to dim my lights to make the screen look good. But you do that nonsense. You sell something that's not what it's supposed to be. This is why you constantly give people instructions about calibrating their projectors, constantly give instructions about ambient light controlled environments. This is what you do. And then you say, I never said the screen was ambient light projection, but it can compete with the ambient light projection screen. Well, you're not doing too well here. In this area right here is designed, this is an ambient light projection environment. Plenty of light. Where's your contrast levels at? You said you're equal to a black nova. Black nova's heaviest strong points are contrast capabilities. Where do you come in equal? Now, if I'm wrong on this demonstration, if I'm wrong, feel free to do the same demonstration I just did with your personal mix. Put it up there. And be sure to make sure you have plenty of light in the environment. We don't want any dark environments. Come on, man. The dark environments, you got to stop it with that. That's your trademark. Want to buy Crow's paint? Hide in the dark. That's pretty much where you're at. Look at my environment. Just look around. Look at it. I don't know where in the world you get in your head that when you turn lights on in your demonstrations that you're equal to the light that I have in my environments. Not even close. Crow will have you in the dark. On expensive projectors, faking demonstrations, faking product reviews, not good. Have not been able to match any of our demonstrations. Skim, cut corners, do whatever you can to try to make your product look good. Even canceled tons of our orders that we have made towards you. For a person who has a lot of faith in their product, you sure enough block a lot of our orders to try to order your product. So we have to go outside and go to California and have people order for us that you don't even know to get it. That sounds like a person who's maybe a little paranoid or terrified that he doesn't want somebody getting the product. Because I'm pretty sure the people who, your customers, I'm pretty sure you give them detailed instructions. If the screen, as you said, does not need ambient light projection technology, then how come you're not in a brighter environment if it doesn't need it? You know, your environments I see are dark all the time. If your projector's not doing all the work, downgrade. I downgraded mine, but no problem. I'm at 800 by 600, 720p, and my screen looks absolutely amazing. I'm amazed because the projector's doing all the work. I bet you if I go on your channel right now, you're in the dark. See, what I don't like about your product is the fact that, number one, it matches a lot of stuff we did 8 years ago. Number two, you constantly lie to your customers all the time. I remember hearing you telling a customer one time that you could calibrate the contrast levels on your projector to be equal to a black screen. No, you can't do that. It does not work. And yet, as many times I've asked for your star field demonstration, you still haven't done it yet. Where's the star field demonstration? I ask you this every time I come on here. Where's your star field demonstration? I'm going to do a demonstration with nothing but a star field and just tell you to do a star field demonstration. We don't want any colorful, pretty pictures painted across the screen with none of that. Give me a contrast level. You say you're equal to a black nova. Well, then show me the star field demonstration. I can put color on my screen and I can wash your screen out with no problem. I can produce white levels that might not be as bright as your screen, but my screen doesn't turn dark. It stays nice and bright. And I can throw contrast levels. I can turn your screen to just a pale sheet of whatever, which I'm doing right now with the door open. You do these demonstrations all the time with the door open, so on and so forth and so forth. Let's see what you got. Do a star field demonstration right now. Or by the end of the day. Bet you we won't see anything. Let's go up the stairs real quick. Let's just have a look around first to show you how much light we have in the environment. I literally have a window right there hitting the screen. Should we have this light on too? Maybe it's too. It's not enough light in here. All right, so let's turn these all the way up. So now we got these lights all the way up. We got these lights on. We got window light coming through. We got the door direct contact. The more light that I push into this room, this screen still maintains its contrast level, its star field. Your screen washes out even more. 22,000 to 1 contrast projector over here. So if I went out and bought this projector, I say for 300 bucks, I went out and bought your screen paint product. I painted this on my motorized projection screen. If I want to watch some dark demonstrations, anything contrast colors, this is what I'm going to get. And maybe we just have too much light in the environment. Maybe that's it. All right. We all know this is a lie. So that's definitely not going to be functioning. Okay, so let's go over to do something else. I'll show you how ambient light rejection works. See the pretty colorful fish? See all the light that maintains, see the sunlight coming through? You know why the sunlight coming through? See my windowsill? Remember when your windowsill was dark, when you were doing that demonstration against the Nova 19? See how light comes in? It's making contact, hitting the screen. Light comes in through the door. Now, if I'm showing off a demonstration, there's no point in me opening up my door with my screen over here because the door light doesn't even make it past. It makes it to here. That's as far as it goes. Once it hits the next room, it's no longer in the next room. So that's pointless. I don't know why you do that demonstration with your door open when clearly you can't see any light. See all the light that's passing past the door and it hits right down the side of the wall? That's as far as it goes. That's it. That's as far as the reach goes. So it's going to make contact with the screen with no problem. But when you have your door open, you can see the light coming in and then it gets darker and darker, then it turns dark when the time it hits your screen. If it did hit the wall, it did come in, you would see the whole back of your wall illuminate. I don't even know why you do that at all. It doesn't work. That's why I love having this house with all these windows. See the difference between my ceiling light and yours? I don't have a shade around it. When your light comes on, I watch the light disperse from the ceiling to the floor. That's it. See how my light comes around, all the way around? My light disperses all the way around, lighting the entire environment. Yours just disperses lights from the top to the bottom. I'm going to waste a little money. I'm going to go and buy me one of these $68 screens. I'm going to order your Cinemax. I'm going to paint it to that motorized projection screen. And I'm going to take that outside. We're going to do it side by side next to a screen that's black, that's designed to take on that kind of light and punishment. And take two projectors. I'll give you the better one. I'll take the cheaper one. And see if your screen can match that technology. That'll be a first. I haven't done that one yet. Outside, two motorized projection screens. That would be fun. That's what I don't like when people lie and do fake demonstrations. I mean, keep in mind, this person has the nerve to come at everybody else and say, oh, they're doing the demonstrations fake. My expert opinion. Man, your expert opinion isn't worth jack. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not worth jack. You don't have an expert opinion. How you sit there in the dark with an overpriced projector and saying your expert opinion? You don't have one. That's your screen right there. That's your product right there that you're claiming that can pull a black image next to a black Nova. See how dark your environment is compared to mine downstairs? Look at that. That's washed out. I don't consider how you consider that to be acceptable. Look at the corners. That is really awful. I don't know where you get it from where you think that that is an acceptable image. That's what I don't like. Now, like I said, if you were fair and came on there and said, okay, contrast levels are fair, because that's what they are, they're fair. But to say that, oh, they're equal to a black screen, nah, no. You need to get your eyes checked. Seriously, you really need them checked. That environment is so dark. And it's not even funny how dark that is. Let's see what's going on here in my world. And I told you, anytime they do a contrast demonstration, always in the dark. That's a complete fail. Why is your environment so dark? Look, get up on the camera and see. Look at the contrast levels right here. What is this right there? That's supposed to be black right there. Completely colorblind, but he's going to show this area right here. So look, it pulls the same contrast levels as a black screen. Washed out. All this is washed out. And that's gray. That's gray, buddy. Even my gunmetal, which is darker than your screen and can pull a contrast level better than your screen, can't equal a black level of a Nova. There's no way in the world I would ever say gunmetal has the exact same capability as Nova. It doesn't. But since you claim that the Cinemax produces a contrast level as black as a black Nova, then we're going to test that theory out. We're going to see if you're lying to your customers or not. We're going to buy your product, we're going to stick it next to a black Nova, pull up the same demonstration, and see if you match a black Nova perfectly. Meanwhile, your area is too dark. Way too dark. Now you've seen how dark this area is, right? Let's go back downstairs to mine. And did I take it with me? I probably did. Got a bad habit of taking remote controls with me places. I just heard someone outside my door. Hold on. Okay. Now we all seen the color of the Cinemax. It is a light gray screen. So we're saying a light gray screen, which we have a light gray screen, his product right here, has the capability of pulling a contrast level. You can only pull a contrast level unless you're in the dark. So matter of fact, I can take this product you have right here against this black screen right here, and I can mimic the exact same demonstration. Or we can take an all white screen and put it in the background and then try to do a contrast level off that and still do the same thing. You can only pull contrast level if you're in a dark environment. I'll let him upstairs. Nothing for me? Nothing for me? No, nothing for you. But it'd be nice to get something for me. So I got packages coming in today. Tron Legacy. See, Jamie? See that window light coming in? It's pushing down on my screen. When you do contrast demonstrations or dark demonstrations, you're supposed to be in fully lit environments. You're supposed to have tons of light hitting the screen. So that means if a customer takes my product and sticks it in a well-lit environment, that screen's going to be able to survive with no problem. Because it's used to sitting next to windows and all other kind of nonsense we throw at it all day long. Where your screen sits tucked away in a dark little corner, and if I were to take your product and stick it in my environment, it wouldn't do well. Because it's used to being handicapped in that dark environment with an overpowered projector. Even with my door shut, I still maintain more light in my environment than yours. Can you do this? I can. You want to compare yourself to a black nova and saying you're as good as a black nova? Then do our contrast demonstration in a fully lit environment. A real fully lit environment. Not that dark cave you just displayed that screen in. Batman, Bane fight scene.
Getting that from you too. Kraft mac and cheese. It's the easiest because it's the cheesiest.
It's the cheesiest. Too bad I can't have it. Cheese will mess me up. Tell me, that's not a perfect picture right there. Sitting there and all that light hitting the screen. Look how that image just popped up. Yeah, anytime you're ready to say you're going to go side by side with a black nova, we'll do the test when we get over here. You don't do the test fair. You mix products that don't look like they belong together. Using everyday black paint, produce images that don't look right like our screen. So we'll do the demonstrations for you when the product gets here. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. We're going to give him a challenge tomorrow. I'm going to do the same demonstration. I hope we have sun tomorrow. We'll get a nice bright day tomorrow. Because I'm going to be back on here doing this same demonstration with some dark movie scenes. Right around, what time you got? Because I need to be around this time. This time is perfect. The sun's coming up on my side of the house. It's pushing through the windows. I need the exact same lighting I'm getting right now. We're going to do a recap on this tomorrow. We're going to do a recap on this because I got to do this again. The lighting is just right. This is just perfect. What time do we have? We got to do this at. My light always hits the same way at every single time. Let me see. We're at 246. So at 246, it should be looking the same way. If we get the sun that comes up tomorrow, we don't get any rain tomorrow, we're good. We get plenty of sunlight to push through. I need this exact same setting right here. As a matter of fact, I need a couple pictures of this too to put onto the website. That looks fantastic. Watching Batman at 2:46 in the afternoon with sunlight pushing through. Got my sunlight peeking through. Yeah, you didn't do a fair demonstration because you didn't have a product to begin with. And like I said, it backs it up because we asked you yes or no, and you couldn't even answer that on a product you reviewed, whether or not you thought that your product was going to win or lose. So taking that you didn't do a fair demonstration, we'll get your Cinemax mix over here, and we're going to stick it in this kind of environment. This is what your screen's going to be looking forward to. This kind of environment inside. I like that window light coming through. That's what I'm talking about. See how we get excited for the window light? When most of you people out there design, I'm just saying everybody, but most people are doing this, these big companies, you hide from that kind of light. You're afraid to play with that kind of light. We don't. We take that as a challenge. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a ball when your product gets here. You claim you beat up a Nova in contrast levels. Oh, this is not going to be good for you. Let's see. Sony 4K demonstrations, contrast.
Getting that from YouTube.
I love this technology, boy. It takes the punishment. You're sitting there babying your screens and contrast, dark environments, worrying about the light.
Want to eliminate odors without heavy.
See how bright my white levels are on my technology?
Try Febreze Light. It illuminates odors with no heavy perfumes and light scents you'll love.
That was the screen that was supposed to be so dark you can't see it. Now, say I'm fair. I will stick your product right in the center. You notice that? When I do demonstrations, I stick your screen right in the center. When you do demonstrations on half and half, you will make sure our screen sits next to a window or whatever you can do to try to damage the screen as much as you possibly can. People see that. They see that kind of nonsense you do. You're not a fair person. But I guarantee you one thing, when that Cinemax gets down here, man, you are going to wish we never had it in our hands. All that babying your screens in that dark environment, overpowered projectors. No, we are going to push it through the limits. It's going through the grinder, like the rest of our screens have to go through. It is going to go through some punishment, as it should go through. And if it doesn't pass, it doesn't pass. But before we do this, we're going to give you a chance to say yes or no. Yes, your screen will take the black Nova on in contrast levels. It would be able to make the screen unseeable. It will be able to make this, it will be able to produce better color inside and outside. I'll give you a chance, yes or no. If you don't answer, it goes against the screen. If you give me a yes, no, maybe, it goes against the screen. Simple yes or no. I'm hyped up because the sun is out. That's why I'm hyped up, people. I love this. This is what I love. This is what I enjoy. I love pushing my screens to see exactly how much punishment it can take. We don't baby screens around here. Oh, I forgot to open up the door. Is this what you were on camera zooming up on? This is what you were doing? Showing people your contrast levels on that video? Your Cinemax can't see contrast. I'm going to show that to you once it gets over here. But before we go down that test, this is your personal mix. It's your light gray screen paint. I know the Cinemax mix is lighter than this. Is this what you were doing on camera? Showing people exactly how well your levels come up? This is not your environment at all, period. At all. This environment's nice and bright. So it's not your environment, as you can see. See how nice and bright it is? This is how we do demonstrations. I'm gonna give you a chance. Yes or no? We'll even make it easier for you. Yes or no, do you want me to place the order for your product? No, that's too easy, that's too easy. No, yes or no. And we'll have the package there on the table. We won't even unbox it. If you sit there and you say, no, I don't want to go side by side to that Black Nova. I don't want to go near it. Then we'll unbox it, we'll leave it in the box. But as you said before, you beat the Black Nova, you were able to produce better contrast levels, better white levels, the whole 9 yards. That's what you said, right? That's what you showed everybody on YouTube, right? That you beat the Black Nova. You were able to pull better contrast levels equal to the black screen, better color, and you turned the screen unwatchable. Okay, we'll see. All right, gotta go. Thank you all, and God bless.